Marco Polo never made it to Singapore, but Massimo Esposito sure did, and wait till you see what he did when he got there. I'm Thomas Robson, and this is Entree to Asia. Before we travel to Singapore and meet our Italian host, I thought we'd stop by the Shang Palace restaurant in Hong Kong just one more time. Chef Ip has some interesting Cantonese dumplings he'd like to share. Who am I to argue?
Today we're going to see a stuffed seafood dumpling braised with a crab roe sauce. Now, how do you braise a dumpling? Traditionally, the wrapper is made out of flour, and that would normally fall apart in the sauce process.
Right.
But Chef Yip has a special technique, and Patsy, Director of Communications, is going to help explain that technique to us.
首先我哋今日介紹呢個餸咧就係蟹黃石榴包。我哋個材料有呢個番肉啦、帶子啦、蝦啦、冬菇啦。
The ingredients for the dish, the braised seafood dumplings with crab roe, include chives, chestnut, Chinese mushroom, shrimp, garupa, scallop, broccoli, crab roe, crab meat, and this is the special mixture of egg white and corn flour. No water in there.
Egg white and a little bit of cornstarch.
Right.
Okay, well let's start her off.
首先我哋先啲蛋白嚟打包起。
Right, he's going to do the wrapper. So you just stir the mixture of the egg white and the corn flour.
Okay, so our wrapper has really no flour in it. It's egg white.
Corn flour.
But that's only a tiny portion. Yeah. So what's going to happen, I can see now, is that egg white is just protein. Protein will survive a steaming process and a braising process. Flour would fall apart.
Right. So that is a special technique to do the wrapper.
Now what he's doing is he's taking all the excess foam off the top so he gets a smooth consistency.
Correct. Yes, correct. Yeah.
Similar to making a crepe.
Yeah. So you just use very little amount of that mixture.
So when the pan is the right temperature, then the egg white's going to stick in a thin layer.
Right.
You can already see it wanting to move away from the side of the pan. It's almost ready to peel away.
Yeah. So he's going to peel it off the pan very carefully, not to break the wrapper.
So it'll come easier off a warm pan than it will off of a cold pan. That's amazing.
我哋首先咧將啲馬蹄去捽水佢啦。
So just to blanch the water chestnuts first.
Okay.
Blanch it in the very hot boiling water.
And okay, so now basically it's almost like stir frying, except it's going to use a bit more oil and a lower heat just to firm up the meat of the fish.
Just to blanch it. So blanch it very quickly, then he removed it from the oil and the heat.
This is just amazing. And the important thing to remember when we're blanching, whether in oil or water, it's not completely cooking.
No, it is not.
Blanching is about cooking only slightly.
He's going to, now he just put in the chicken stock, a little bit of corn flour and salt.
Right. Yeah, it's a filling and it has to hold together.
It is. So put all the ingredients on the dish.
That's perfect. You can smell the aroma, it's very delicate. Here's chive, and it's been blanched. And he's separating it into thinner strands. So to be able to tie it.
Now he puts the ingredients on the top of this, in the center of the pancake.
And he just pleats around as he goes.
Right.
chive. Whoa, good skill with the finger there.
Yeah.
The way he held the part of the chive with the small finger. Now this is why you call a master chef seafood, which means
Seafood.
master and teacher at the same time.
Yeah. And he's going to steam it for about 4 to 5 minutes over very strong heat.
Okay, not 45, but 4 to 5 minutes. So now here come the dumplings out of the steamer, fresh and hot.
Right.
And there just remains to make the sauce out of the ingredients before us.
首先我會將啲西蘭花去煨熟咗佢先啦。
Now he's going to blanch the broccoli and then season it with chicken stock and salt to give it a kind of flavor.
Okay. Of course, the color will look good too. Now in this case, a quick oil blanching is almost the same as a water blanching.
It is
A little bit richer.
Yes, richer and stronger because this is much more hotter.
Of course, yes. And also, not only will it help encourage the color, but the oil helps intensify the flavor.
A little bit of salt and chicken stock.
Chicken stock, yes. And the trick here is to allow that stock to reduce, to concentrate flavor again.
He's going to drain the excessive water. And now he's going to cook the crab roll with hot water, but not completely cooked, just to about 80% cooked.
Little water in the wok, and in goes the crab roll. Oh, this
just
is
pour
so
the hot
smart.
water over it.
I see. So really, what we call this is scalding.
Right.
He scalds the roe, and that'll firm up the delicate pieces. Oh.
So it's not 100% cooked.
Now you can see it because before it was very soft, and now it has its own texture. And it's a little bit more hot water. It's much more delicate than poached egg white.
Yes. Now he just put in the crab meat into the supreme stock, cooked it a little bit, and finish it with the sauce. Now just put in some cornstarch.
And then to keep the crab roe from overcooking, I guess that goes last.
Right, and cooked it until this consistency. Then he is going to put in the egg white.
Aha. Wow.
Return it to over the heat.
Very delicate.
Return it to the heat. Yeah.
And now the roe. Oh, it's beautiful.
Isn't it?
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's so good to have orange and green colors.
Wow.
So just pour the sauce over the dumplings.
Well, what a beautiful surrounding to enjoy such beautiful food in. We've really been spoiled here in Kowloon, and I don't mind one bit. So here's these amazing seafood dumpling, braised, and the wrapper made out of egg white, and the sauce with crab and crab roe. I'm looking forward to this. Mmm. Very delicious, crunchy. The water chestnut is so fresh and good. The flavors are all delicate and they're in harmony. Nothing overpowers, but everything can be tasted. I think we've got a great example of true Cantonese cuisine at its best right here and now. We knew that coming to Southeast Asia would guarantee us the discovery of some great regional foods, but we weren't quite prepared to find Italian food. This is definitely East meets West.
I'm standing in front of a pizza oven at Tanti Baci's restaurant. No, we're not in Italy. We're still in Singapore. What's going on here? Chef Massimo? What's happening? Italian food? Asia?
Yeah, we try to do an infusion cuisine between East and West. Means East meet West. So we're gonna do a nice lobster salad dishes tonight with some local products and Chinese products.
So this is local lobster.
Yeah, that's the local lobster. That's the spiny lobster.
Spiny lobster.
Yes,
wow.
spiny lobster. And here we got some Chinese dry mushrooms, which are steamed with the ginger and the spring onions, as well like the lobster. It would be it is steamed as well. And here we got some coriander and chili. Usually it's very favorite spices for the Singaporean people, the chili. So, and I really like to use a lot of chili. That's one of those that we get in. So I'm gonna starting to make the nice dishes here, and here we got the Chinese tofu, which is lightly deep fried with corn flour.
Okay, or as we refer to it often, cornstarch.
Yes. So there you go. I'm gonna starting to build up my plate. Here we got the lobster.
Again, that's just been steamed, eh?
Yeah, this is the steamed with the ginger and the chili. The temperature it was around 90, 100 degrees when it's been steamed for about 5 minutes.
In other words, don't steam it aggressively.
Yeah,
nice, careful heat.
Yeah, nice, carefully. Otherwise, it would be too hot, and it would be not soft. Okay, I'm gonna dispose the lobster. So I'm gonna stuff the lobster with these beautiful mushrooms that they give it such nice flavor. For me, I find that it is a very nice combination with the lobster and those Chinese mushrooms. And people really love it. Here we got the, how we say before, the coriander, the chili, and the spring onions. Then I will just seasoning a bit, and I will put a bit of my extra virgin olive oil, which I marinated before with some herbs.
So a little thyme, a little rosemary, some chili,
Some
extra
chili.
virgin olive oil,
Yes.
fresh pepper.
Fresh pepper, salt. I'm gonna add on top of the tofu. Okay, so here we got the arugula. That's arugula salad. That's a radicchio from Chioggia, from Italy. Those are my favorite salad.
They have a beautiful bitter flavor. I think the Asians really enjoy that kind of
Yes.
bitterness too.
They do.
You can just hand those to me and I'll
Thank you.
pass them along.
Just possible. Thank you very much. So with seasoning again, I'm gonna put some extra virgin olive oil as well. So we give it a better taste.
Again, a pinch of salt.
Fresh pepper. We're gonna add some balsamic dressing.
That's made here in-house, right?
Yes. This is aged balsamic vinegar. I'm gonna put also some entire salad as well. Toasted a bit.
I like how you keep combinations of things and then things on their own.
Yeah. Must have some patience with the food, so always carefully, you know, with the ingredients. You need always the freshness of the ingredients. Such a nice, good basil, tomato. I'm just gonna put also some red currant tomato.
So we're careful to give the vinaigrette, a little garnish for everything.
Yes.
So the flavor is
Always to give it-
consistent.
Yeah, flavors. I would then finish with some pine nuts. Gonna put some Tajaskai olives. And then I will finish with some spring onions. Those are the flowers from the spring onions.
I've never seen them flower. That looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So for you, this is the new Asia cuisine?
That's for me one of those dishes that the infusion between East and West.
Wow, amazing. What a
Very
treat.
nice.
I really love the way that Massimo attacks the whole idea of Asian cuisine, soaking it all up. He's just fresh from Italy, so you can imagine his eagerness to explore new things. Well, I thought we could bring together some new ideas here too today, and we'll make a nice salad sort of inspired by Massimo's creation there. We're going to take some chicken breast, and we've marinated it with red curry paste. Curry paste is not only for making curries. There's lots of different approaches to using it, so I'm hoping that you'll come up with some ideas of your own as well. We've just simply smeared the curry paste onto the chicken and allowed it to marinate for a good 30 to 40 minutes, or you could even leave it overnight, no problem. So we're going to have chicken in this salad, and we're going to base this salad on a kind of noodle that's rather unique. It's called a glass noodle. Some people also call it a mung bean noodle, and perhaps mung bean is a little bit closer to the truth. Here's a package of them right here, and I'm just going to turn it over so you can see maybe through this that they come in little bundles. It's a fantastic, fresh tasting noodle, and the texture is perfect for a salad like this. So, once you've marinated the chicken breast, it's time to put it in a pan and brown it up all nice. And you know what I'm thinking? Is first we're going to put just a touch of oil, just a little bit, to help encourage the browning. There's 2 teaspoons full, and I'll just sort of move it around to hit the spot where the chicken is going to end up. Then I'm going to use my giant Asian chef's chopsticks, which have quite a reach. And we'll just lay the chicken breast down on one side so it can brown and go at a fairly vigorous heat. A thin chicken breast won't take long to cook at all.
Day 22. Unlike most of the markets or greengrocers we're used to in the West, a so-called wet market is quite an experience. You may think the vegetables, poultry, and meat products you buy are the freshest available. Perhaps. But unlike our vegetables, which are generally picked young and ripened in transit, the produce in wet markets like this was probably picked only yesterday. Likewise, the meat products. For health concerns and due to some religious convictions, chicken, lamb, and beef has to be freshly slaughtered. Keep in mind that the food bought today will be used today. By the way, it's called a wet market because of all the excess water from the vegetables and seafood that finds its way onto the floor. It all makes for a very slippery but enlightening shopping experience.
All right, now our chicken breast is thoroughly cooked through. I'm going to turn off the heat, and I'm just going to carefully lay it out on this platter here. Oh, there's a little scorched bit. We can get rid of that right away. Some of the curry paste naturally will come off the chicken breast, and it's not crucial that it sticks to the chicken breast because what you've done is you've marinated it so the flavor has penetrated into the chicken. We're going to allow this to cool down so we don't have to worry about handling it while it's hot. And while it does cool down, we're going to prepare a lovely basic Southeast Asian salad dressing. And this is one you can experiment with. You can add all kinds of other ingredients to it. Lemongrass, chilies, garlic, fresh thyme, that would be delicious. It's up to you. So here's the base. I have some lime juice. I have some diced red and green chilies. I have lots of garlic and some sugar to balance all the heat and the sour. So first the lime juice, and that's the juice of about 1 or 2 limes. The amount is up to you. It's a very simple dressing. Chilies, again, up to you. I'm going to use just enough so that I know I can get some color throughout this salad. Garlic, well, the more garlic the better, both for flavor and for health.
So I still have a lot of garlic here, so I'm going to cut back a bit and not use quite everything. I've got about a tablespoon a heaping tablespoon of garlic. And sugar, about 2 tablespoons. And that should do just nicely. We'll stir. And then we have some other ingredients to add. And once this is all stirred together and everything's combined, it's important that you taste the dressing and see what it needs. Now, this one needs a little bit of salt added to it, and for the perfect salty flavor, Southeast Asian style, I'm going to add a couple of splashes of basic, straightforward, delicious fish sauce. About a tablespoonful should do the job. And check again. Perfection. That's a lovely dressing. Now over here I have 2 other ingredients. First one is julienne of cucumber. That's straightforward. Cut the cucumber as thinly, as closely to a matchstick as you can, and there's lots of great little kitchen aids you can buy now for shredding cucumber and all kinds of things, and you'll find them down in the Asian markets when you go shopping, so keep your eye out for those. We'll throw in some julienne cucumber then, and I won't use quite all of this. I'm going to save some to use on the garnish, or as the garnish on top. And then here, these little thin white pieces are bean sprouts, and they may look a little bit different, and that's because we've taken a pair of simple kitchen scissors and we've cut off both the little tail end and the head end to make them as attractive as possible. So those will blend in with the salad. Notice how that everything has kind of been cut in a noodle shape so that it mixes in with the noodles very well. Toss that about. Get all the flavor and the dressing onto the cucumber and the bean sprouts. And then we need to do a little something to our glass noodles, or mung bean thread noodles. These are quite long. And so what we want to do to make this salad easier to eat is we want to take a pair of kitchen shears, and just sort of cut it in all around the clock there, just to shorten up the strands of noodles so that they'll mix better in the salad and be easier to eat with a fork or chopsticks for that matter. And of course that makes them a lot easier to mix as well. This is such a light and nutritious salad. Skinless chicken breast, white meat that's nice and lean, rich in protein. The noodles, which have no starch to them, no gluten, no wheat. Also protein. Lots of good vegetable action going on there with the bean sprouts and the cucumber. Really, this is a very, very healthy dish. And there it is. That looks beautiful, and of course it tastes great. And now let's slice up the chicken to make it look perfect to go along with this salad. And we'll just tilt the knife at an angle away from us, and we'll slice the chicken nice and thinly. So this is kind of a fusion recipe when it comes down to it, because we've taken the curry paste and we've used it as a marinade, which is something you rarely see in Southeast Asia. And we're making an interesting salad composition out of it. So, you know, in a way this is a fusion dish, but it's also quite a simple dish to do. And so when you're thinking fusion, don't let the big chef's ideas of fusion mislead you. It doesn't have to be a complicated dish with towers of ingredients spread across a plate. It can be a really simple, fresh, lovely salad as well. There we go. We better arrange the rest of this by hand. There we go. A couple more little bits of cucumber and bean sprout around the edges to give it a lovely appearance. Maybe you want to add a sprig of mint, or perhaps we can even do this just to give the diner an idea of the pleasure of eating chilies that's coming up. Singapore is a great place to learn about East meets West cuisine. All sorts of diverse cultures come together there and share their secrets. What impressed me most about this East meets West approach to cooking is that it does not have to be a complicated thing. Use the ingredients that are available to you and combine them with the flavors of the cultures that you like the best. We'll have more great cultural combinations next time on Entree to Asia. I'm Thomas Robson.
To find out more about Entree to Asia, including recipes and program descriptions, visit our website at www.entreetoasia.com.